Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Nadine Rosenstiel, and I'm going to show you America Modern's management system, ModernLink. We find it a very helpful tool. You can quote find an issue online from the convenience of your office. The one nice thing to keep in mind is American Modern is offering a 5% increased commission on all new business written in PA. So we thought it would be a good idea to show you the system so it can generate some more revenue for you. So everybody likes extra commission. Just some housekeeping rules. I'm very informal. If you have a question, please in the lower right-hand box, just type it and I'll answer it as quickly as possible. If you need to email me, my email address is nadine@toscano.com, NADINE@toscano.com. So let's get started. First question is, how do I even access ModernLink? The best way to do it that we feel is from our website. So if you go to www.toscano.com, we have something called a single sign-on that once you're logged into the system, if you go to the toolbox area, you will see all of our portals, American Modern, RLI, Aegis First, Aegis General. You just clicked on American Modern. That will bring you to this screen. It will actually bypass this screen, I'm sorry, and it will go directly into ModernLink. We unfortunately don't have the convenience of the single sign-on system. We get to this screen. Some people also save the link to their favorites, which is perfectly acceptable. If you should happen to forget your password, as we have so many and so many have to be, so many certain ways, I suggest to do the live chat and somebody will instantly come on and help you. We no longer, unfortunately, have control of resetting passwords. We have to send everything to the company. So there's no downtime. We suggest to use the live chat feature. Once you log on, this is the main screen that will bring you back to this is where you do your quoting. This is where you do your policy searches, pull the quote back up. One thing that I want to point out is the eForms feature. If you click on this tab, this is the area where you can find all guidelines and manuals. So today we're going to do dwelling fire. You can search by product, obviously it's by product, by state, by form type. And so let's just say we're gonna research the DP3 program. And you pick the state, and these are all the endorsements that are available as well as the program manual. And it's PDF version, so it's nice reference materials. The system is pretty user-friendly, that it will tell you something is eligible or ineligible, but sometimes the guidelines come in handy beforehand if you're just unsure. By all means, also always call us if you're unsure about a risk. Please give us a call. American Modern has a wide variety of things that they will take. They rate their dwelling fires are on a DP1 and a DP3 form. They will take rentals, seasonal dwellings, vacants. The vacants are on a DP1. The big thing that we're seeing right now, they will do a standalone structure. So if somebody has a garage on a piece of land that they're storing tools or just some personal articles in, they will write that as, it's called a standalone product. That will be written on a DP1. We're seeing a lot of those. We're also seeing a lot of seasonal cabins, especially like in the north with the hunting season. I call them man caves because they have no running water and sometimes no electricity. Somewhere that I'm not that type of person, so I probably wouldn't go there, but we can write those with no running water and just heat with a wood stove. So we can write those as a DP1 seasonals. We're seeing a lot of those in our area. Another thing that they will do is the short-term rentals. The only thing they will not do is any type of student housing. They will not write any type of student housing. So we can write in an LLC. That is not an issue at all. And yeah, so they have a wide variety of things that they can do. Another thing that's available is an agency download. I know that that is something many of our agents request. They do. If you have a management system that is compatible, please send me an email. I can send you the link, and it's just an online form that you complete, and you can subscribe to the agency download. We know how important that is within your management system. So let's get started. Your sub-producer number should automatically be generated when you enter your password. If it is not, your ModernLink Pass sub-producer number is also your Toscano number. The rating zip code is the zip code of where the location is. We're just going to say it's Greensburg. And the product, today we're going to pick Dwelling Fire. Very simple. It's asking for basic information. Last name, you do not need the phone number, the location address. Oops, sorry, my typing is sorry about that. Let's see here, we're going to pick PA. We're going to pick a building limit. The building limit on a DP3 goes up to $1 million, and on the DP1 vacant. Vacant can also be under renovations. The DP1 product, the maximum value goes up to $300,000. We're going to say this was in 1970. Another thing that they will do is they will do row homes, but they will not do flat roofs. The question is home located in city limits? We're going to say yes. The fire hydrant, the protection class. If you do not know the protection class, then they'll do protection class 9s and 10s, which is also nice. So it's nice for those seasonal dwellings or any type of dwelling, I guess if you have a vacant also, but they will do the protection class 9s and 10s. I know a lot of admitted markets won't do those, so they do not have an issue with those. If you absolutely do not know the protection class, it does do an ISO search. So I'm going to try to, we'll pick the wrong protection class so you can see what I mean. Let's see, the living area, we're gonna say it's 1,300. We're gonna have a basement and the type of roof. Okay. And here we go. It's telling us that the protection class that I entered is not coming back is the same as ISO. All you have to do is says select yes to override the return and accept the user enter, or select no to accept the PP, the protection class from ISO. And I'm going to say that I'm picking what ISO says. So I'm just going to hit next. The occupancy, here's all of the occupancies that we can do. Today we're going to do a rental. Number of families, they do go up to 4 families. Construction, we're just going to say frame. We're going to say 2 stories. Has the insured had any losses? We're going to say no. It does not do clue until till you go to issue. So at the quoting stage, it does not do clue. Something to keep in mind. How many dwellings are owned by the insured? We're going to say 2. Here's where you enter your loss history. And here's the product, Dwelling Fire, sorry about that. Again, it asks, I apologize, it asks you for your sub-producer code again. More than likely your code is going to be entered in there because we don't have that single sign-on access. That's why I have to enter my code. Okay, here are the eligible programs because what I entered in previously, this is what can be, these are the 2 types of programs that can be the DP1 or the DP3. So I'm going to say it's a rental. This is asking for the credit scored information. You will never be decline credit. It's the better the credit, the better the rate. So there is no decline if they have bad credit. We do not see any of the credit results. It's all built in. So thankfully, we don't know whether or not they're getting a good rate or not. You do not need the Social Security number. We always suggest at least the date of birth, but if it's a situation that the insured has had several address changes, we suggest to get the Social Security number. I know that people have sometimes an issue with providing their Social Security number. It goes first by Social Security number, date of birth, and then the mailing address, I do believe. So if they've jumped around a lot, sometimes they won't get the best score. We're just gonna say the mailing address and the location address are the same. If it's a rental situation or a vacant, those two things should be different. So technically, there should be no, but your mailing address shouldn't be the same as the location address. The owner occupied that they will write is on a DP1. You cannot write an owner occupied on a DP3. Okay, we're just going to put in mailing address. On the right-hand side, our memo is a memo section. So anytime there's anything you want to jot down about the risk, you can enter it in there. Okay, it's just saying error retrieving insurance score from interface. That is because I did not put the Social Security number, but you're still going to get a quote. What the heck? What's going on? Let me see. Okay. I wonder if because my mailing address is okay. And I apologize. I do not know what's going on. Let's see here. Maybe because I did not put the right. I apologize. Maybe possibly because I didn't put the right mailing address. Okay. I did not put, I put the office mailing address, I put a PO box, so that is why I was not getting a insurance score. So I apologize. Normally, it would work very smoothly, and of course, because on a WebEx, it has a hang up. But because I used the PO box, that's why it was giving me the hang up. So here is our actual coverages, and where we would enter our limits and surcharges and credits. So the one thing it's asking is the dwelling settlement option. So they can have the actual cash value, replacement costs, modified functional replacement costs, and agreed value modified functional replacement costs. The one thing to keep in mind is I will show you how to do the MSB. The replacement cost estimator has to be done for any type of replacement costs. You can have an actual cash settlement on a DP3 program. So this is really popular, especially in our area. We have a lot of older homes and they're used for rentals, and they want those special perils, for perils, but the value of the home, Marshall Swift Beck, sometimes it's a little bit high, and the insurer just doesn't feel that their home is worth that much money. So you can have that ACV value with a DP3 form, so which is very nice, especially with older homes. So we're going to pick replacement costs, and you hit go to MSB cost estimator, and it takes us right in. This is basically just telling us that they're going into the MSB Marshall Swift Beck calculator. And it takes us to their site, which is nice. Now, if it's a home that has been previously entered or is already on the CoreLogic system, it will be in here. You are able to change some of the fields. So for instance, if you know for sure that they put in a designer kitchen, you're able to change that. If you know that they have 3 bathrooms instead of 2, or 1/2 bathroom, you can do that by simply just doing the drop down arrows and adding the information there. And then I apologize. Let me move this little thing and we just hit calculate. And it calculates our replacement costs and you hit finish. And all we have to do is hit close. Then we hit refresh. Now this is the only part that I love ModernLink. I always want your feedback because we do talk to American Modern regularly and they do listen to us. The one thing that I don't like is, so here's our new value. So we have to go back to the basic and change it to the what was it again? Sorry, down here, 222861. So we're just going to say 223. And that is one thing that they're well aware of, that, you know, I do not like that fact. You should just be able to change it on that screen there. So please, if you're in there and you don't like something, please let me know, because it's, you know, I feel that it's our system. It's both of ours and we work in it and we want your feedback. Sometimes the companies, they develop these systems and they're not in it every day and we're in it every day. So believe me, they do honor your feedback. They might not make changes today or tomorrow, but they do, you know, have a working list, and because they want you to like the system and work on it. So we just hit next until we get through to the coverages again. Okay, so here's our coverages. It's asking if there's any personal property. Since this is a rental, I'm only going to put $1,000. The premises liability can go up to $500,000. The medical payments can go up to $10,000. We're going to say $1,000. The deductible can go up to $5,000. We're going to give it $1,000. The fair rental, the 10% is already included. If you have an other structure that is of disrepair, for instance, if it's a garage with a pretty, you know, shabby roof, or it's just, you know, really poor structure, we can exclude it. Replacement costs for personal property these are all the additional coverages. The vacancy surcharge is a really unique feature. So if it's a situation that, you know, the insured, the tenant is moving out early and he's not going to have a tenant in there for like another 3 months, you can add the vacancy surcharge. So it does not have to be canceled in the event of a loss because of the vacancy, that it would be denied. So it's really nice if it's a situation that is between tenants. It's a really nice feature. It is a surcharge. It is a little bit pricey, but that's once it's occupied, the surcharge will be removed. What this does not do is you cannot use this as a vacant dwelling policy. If you, it wasn't anybody within our offices or any of our customers, but I was at in American Modern, actually in Cincinnati, and there were agents using that for a vacant policy, and that is not the intent at all. That it's not used for a true vacant dwelling. It is used for situations where landlords are between tenants, or a good one is if somebody goes on vacation for 3-4 months, or, you know, their tenant, things like that. So that's what it is. It's just a temporary vacancy. Water backup and sewers and drains is $5,000. Equipment breakdown. Supplemental heating is for any wood stove. You do not have to add it for fireplaces, sorry. Short-term rental. All of these, I'm sorry. These are all hyperlinks that should tell, if you click on them, they'll tell you what they're looking for. So for instance, water backups of sewers or drains, coverage provided for direct loss by water that backs up through sewers and drains. So any losses, so this is not a short-term rental, it's going to be a yearly rental. They're looking for as if it's like, that's like a vacation rental. Are any losses? We're going to say no. This is where the standalone structure, if you were to pick that, if you had a pole barn, pole building type of situation, again, a garage, a boat slip, I do believe you can enter on that. This is where you would pick that. So we're going to say no. Again, it's asking if it's a boat slip. It's anything without living quarters is basically what it is. Is there any smoke alarms or alarm services? You do get a credit. Deadbolt smoke alarms and fire extinguishers. They do require all risks to have a smoke alarm. And the one thing with the row homes is they do not care how many row. It has to have a not how many houses are in the row, but it is the there has to be a firewall between each section. Should the roof exclusion be attached to the policy? We're going to say no. Does it have a central fire alarm? No. Central burglar? No. And this is a row home or townhome? No. It does surcharge for row home and townhome. It's not very expensive. And we're just going to hit update quote. So here is our quote. If you click on print, it prints the quote. It comes up in the PDF. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, I apologize, I did not mention earlier. We have found that ModernLink works best with Google Chrome and Firefox. We're finding that if you're using Internet Explorer, the PDFs do not pop up as they should. So Google Chrome and Firefox. If you've used ModernLink in the past and you're just like, oh, it just doesn't work, it goes slow, it could be, the web browser. So Google Chrome and Firefox we find are the best. So here's the PDF of the quote. And here is the application. And here we go. There it is. It's semi-completed. There's some yes and no questions that still need completed. And your quote is, pretty simple. So let's now say that the person wants it. You have one or two things. If it's the same day, you can just continue on to the quote. So let's do that. So we're going to, I always say to save, it's not an automatic save, so we can save here. You can also save multiple versions of the quote. So if you change any type of liability, you can save multiple versions and just pick save as new. So then the new one will save. So we just hit next. And these are all the underwriting questions. Now, if you should happen to answer an underwriting question that hits, that it may say that it's submitting to us, please don't panic. What's going to happen is it's going to come to us and we may have to ask a few questions, give you a phone call. This is where we suggest to include that information here in the memo section. The one thing that we do get is if it's been previously canceled, they just want to know why. They do not allow for lapses over 60 days. We can make special exceptions on everything. So that is what I like about America Modern, that we truly can underwrite the risk. So if you have a situation, I know that we had in the past people that have been in nursing homes and for 90 days sometimes, and they couldn't make the payment. Absolutely would make special exceptions for that. Other situations where spouses have passed away and they did not realize that they were supposed to make the payments on the insurance, we can listen and make exceptions for that. Another thing to keep in mind with American Modern is they are an admitted company, so they do inspect. We control the inspection. Again, we're willing to work with the insured, so if they do not have handrails, and it's raining every day here, at least for the last, it seems like forever, we can work with the insured if they have, and sometimes contractors don't come and see you. You know, they'll say they'll be out and they don't come for weeks and weeks and weeks. So if they have contact with the contractor, we're willing to work with you, you know, if an inspection rec comes up. And that's one thing that we really love. But keep in mind, because it is an admitted carrier and it's the business, you know, we place our better business with that. We're not looking for these homes that have, you know, tires and 10 cars that have never been driven, you know, in the backyard. You know, we have markets for those, but American Modern is not the place for that. You know, it's not the place for homes that the absentee landlord lives in Hawaii and he never comes and, you know, visits the carrier. One thing they do take on the rentals is swimming pools. I know that's an issue sometimes too. As long as it's fenced, swimming pools, trampolines are not a problem. Another issue though they don't like are the aggressive dogs. They do not like pit bulls, Dobermans, any type of dog breed like that. Again, we have markets for those. It's just that American Modern is not that market. So, okay, sorry. So the just underwriting questions is asking us the purchase date. We're gonna say the purchase price. We're gonna say the roof was placed in January. The type of electric, they do not write knob and tube. That is the one electrical system that we do have a problem with. We don't have, you know, I don't think we have any markets for knob and tube. So they're not looking for knob and tube. How many applicants rental? We're going to say this is the only one. Is this a fraternity, sorority, or student housing? No, it is not. That's something that's going to be knock it out. Is there any unrepaired or damaged windows? We're going to say no. Dog bite history, exotic animals, swimming pool on premises, farming, business. They will allow for an office, things like that, very low traffic area. But if you have a daycare in the home, absolutely not. We cannot write that with American Modern. Again, we have surplus lines markets for something like that. We write a good portion of them, but it's just not with American Modern. But if the person has an office, you know, because they're like a tax accountant, something like that, that should be no issue. How many days of dwelling gone uninsured? 0 days. Cannot be condemned. Anything decline, we're going just to pick up somebody for the prior carrier. Applicant past conviction of fraud or other insurance related. That's going to be a no. We cannot write anybody that's convicted of arson, fraud, or any other type of insurance related offenses. We also cannot write anyone in prison. So if it's a vacant because the insured is in prison, we've had a couple of those inquiries. Unfortunately, we can't write them with American Modern. We can write them with a surplus lines carrier. The heat must be corporation, no, this is not. The heat must be thermostatically controlled unless it's a DP1 with that wood stove as the only source of fuel. Type of heat. Does the dwelling have smoke detectors? Yes, it has to. Is there a supplemental heat source? That is not. No kerosene heaters. They do not like kerosene heaters. Does the dwelling have any unrepaired water damage? Is the dwelling an earth home, dome home, open pier home, stilt home, condominium, or any non-converted design? They do not like the homes on piers and dome homes, but believe it or not, we do have an admitted carrier that will accept those. So just let us know. And two, a lot of times if you get this far and you realize that, oh, geez, this is a dome home and I didn't realize, we can quote from this application. So just give us a call. I always hate for people to do double work. We're all really busy. Just say, hey, I quoted it in American Modern. We can take that information from what's in here. Is this a row home? In this case, we're going to say no, but they do write row homes. This is where it's going to ask about the firewall. Has the roof and electric been updated with the past 20 years? Is this a manufactured or modified home? We do write manufactured and modified manufactured homes on the mobile home product in American Modern. You cannot write a mobile home on a dwelling fire. We also include modular homes on that. Modular homes are considered manufactured homes, not a dwelling fire. It has to have utilities except for that DP1 seasonal. It's asking for under renovations. Again, we can do that under the vacant and just add the renovation surcharge. Okay, I have a question. Let's see here. Let me get it. Let me get it real quick. See here, pardon me. Okay, you said you can only do an owner-occupied dwelling on a DP1 and not a B2. I don't understand why anyone would want a DP1. Good question. I agree with you that I find the DP1, and you are correct. We can only write an owner-occupied on a DP1. I 100% agree with you. It's a matter, I think, of opinion on why someone would want a DP1 against a DP3 because it is basic coverages, and especially to me where we live. But there's many people that we find that they're just want to satisfy the bank if they have a mortgagee. They don't really care about coverages. They especially don't. Maybe it's a situation that they don't want it. You know, if they don't recoup their losses, okay. If there's a loss, that's fine. I'm not going to rebuild. But it's a product that is, you know, pretty popular. We rate a lot. So it's just basically what the consumer wants and, you know, the type of structure that it is. There's some risk out there that we do see that aren't that favorable. And that's a product that would be for a basic form. Another question, and you can do a vacant dwelling with American Modern, but only on a DP1, correct. They do have a vacant dwelling program. It's a vacant, and you can also add renovations to that. It's only a DP1 product. We do, within our small business unit at Toscanos, offer a DP3 program. They have several markets with other carriers, but with American Modern, it's only a DP1. One thing to keep in mind too, is it's one location, one policy. And so I know if you have somebody that is a realtor or have a few rental dwellings, you know, my father-in-law has 5 rental dwellings. Unfortunately, that would be 5 policies. That is something American Modern has heard us loud and clear, that we want it on one policy. It's more manageable, and they are working to resolve that issue. We're being promised by next summer, June or July, they'll have the program there that, you know, you can schedule multiple policies or multiple locations on one policies. So thank you, good questions. Okay, let's see. Again, with that DP1, that's where I suggest, you know, maybe if the insurer doesn't feel the replacement costs, which has to be at 100%, if he feels that value, you know, it's a way of talking them into the better form, saying, listen, we can do an ACV value on this better form, that you can have a lower value and have the better form. So that's why I love that option of having that ACV value on that DP3 form. Is the dwelling attached to, occupied, or converted as a commercial risk? That is one thing that is kind of unique about this program, is they do not want any type of structure attached to or converted from a commercial risk. So if it's next to a barber shop, attached to a barber shop, attached to a school, attached to a bar, they do not like that. They do not like any situation that there would be like a deli in the bottom and maybe apartments up top. That's very popular here in our area. So unfortunately, they don't like that type of risk. Again, we do have markets that would probably go to surplus lines. Dwelling in foreclosure, currently 60 days or more past due mortgage payments. They do not like any property that's in foreclosure. Is a dwelling located in a landslide, forest fire, or brush area? This is a disqualifier. It cannot be in any type of situation like that. Is the dwelling located on an island or within 1,000 feet of seacoast, bay, or sound? Again, that's a disqualifier. They do not like any type of situation like that. One thing too to keep in mind, as we all are aware of watching, I know we are kind of, at least I am, I've family in the South, are the hurricane restrictions. So far binding in PA is not an issue, but we do try to keep our agents updated. We just sent an email out, I do believe, that, you know, our binding restrictions in the South, we cannot bind in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia. So we do watch that very, very closely with hurricane season arising. Just talked to the American Modern rep yesterday. They have a full team already staged in the South, expecting problems. They're also willing, you know, to take those phone calls at agencies. If you have a big book of American Modern business in a certain area, they understand that those calls can just overload you because you're in the same problem too. You know, that if your business is getting hit, your insureds are getting hit, and your home's getting hit. So they understand that. So he was here the other day and he said, you know, our claims, they're already down there, the claims people, and they're willing to go in the agent's offices to help them out. So their claims is phenomenal. I have been to their claims part of their building. It's unbelievable what they do. I was very, very impressed. If you ever have a chance, they have a lot of YouTube videos on their claims servicing and what they do for the adjusters have to go through. So it's pretty impressive. So is a dwelling located in an area that is isolated, not accessible by road? No, it is not. Is there an underground fuel storage or underground fuel tank? No. They do not like underground fuel tanks. They'll take above ground fuel tanks. I know that's popular here in PA. So this is just a claims history. It's asking you if there's any other secondary person or spouse that should be on the policy. It's asking us to verify the Social Security number. And this is where we would add our lien holder or additional insured. They are direct bill policies. Ooh, sorry, it's asking for my marital act. Okay. Okay, so here we are at the issuing part. Currently, the system you have a couple options to pay. You can have an easy pay monthly, what is automatically withdrawn from the insured's account. You can have, let's see, you can have a full pay, or you could have a 4-pay installment. The installments have a $7 surcharge on each installment, including the down payment. You can bill to the mortgagee. The down payment method, we always encourage our agents, and if we quote the business here, we request that the insured pays unless it's billed to the mortgagee. 2 reasons why. A, you have your money, you know it's paid for. B, going forward with American Modern, in a few months, they are going to do away with the bill down to the insured option. So the insured will not be able to receive an invoice for the down payment that they will, for binding, they absolutely have to pay. So we want to give everybody and get everyone into the habit of collecting that money up front. They do take credit cards. The checks are electronic, that we would just enter in the, which I'll show right here. So if we're going to do, it's an electronic check, actually, it's EFT. The bill down to the agent. So if you get cash and you want to take that money then out of your account, the bill down to the agent is an option, but you're not going to receive the bill because American Modern feels that you know that you have to go in to pay that money. So why should they send you a bill that you know that that insured owes that money? So you can just go in and apply the payment. So you are not going to get a bill if you hit the bill down to the agent. So if you get cash, put that cash into your account, and then you're going to do an EFT payment. So we're going to pick EFT to the down payment. This is where you would put your amount received. It's going to ask who it's paid by, if it's paid by the insured, the agent, the premium finance company, the remaining bills, if it's to the insured or to the lien holder, or the renewal bills is to the insured or the lien holder. This is where you would put the checking account information. I always forget even though I do these almost every day, I do all my online banking, I still forget what the ABA and the routing numbers are. So it gives you an example right here. And on the account number, it also tells you what that is. And then it also asks if it's checking or savings. So once you enter that in, of course, I'm not going to do that because this is just an example and I don't want to actually issue it or take any money out of my account. You just hit next and you can get a binder. Right here is where the binder will print. And it's done, issued an invoice. So the policy will be mailed directly to the insured and it'll be available for you for upload tomorrow if you choose, or if you want to get the PDF. Many of our agents are paperless. They don't even, if with that agency management system, they know that it's issued, so they just rely on that, but it's entirely up to you what you want. So that's about it. So again, if you have any questions, please call me, please email me. Again, it's nadine@toscano.com. I can email you that link for the agency downloads to request that. And if you have any questions on a risk, if you think something's eligible, please let me know. And I also get that, it's maybe tomorrow or the next day and you have one and you want to use the system and you totally forget what I just said, please call me. Anyone in our personal lines department, we are willing to talk. Would love to work through it with you. Just let us know. So thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. And you have a wonderful day and you keep dry. Thank you so much.